Wassail, beautiful people. So I'm in the Colca Canyon. Look at the gorgeous scenery. And this is my little hobbit home that I'm staying in at the moment. It's gorgeous. Might do a reading in there with you. But first of all, we're out in the sun. This is the 2nd and 3rd of November. It's altar number 4, the day after you've been having a chat with Venus. And it's Vesta Trine Mars. So I'm going to rush through and just get straight on with this because I can't sit in the sun very long. We're so high up. We're about 3,800 meters. Yesterday, coming here to get to the canyon, we had to go to the top of the world in terms of Peru. And we were just shy of 5,000 meters. And when we got out, it was freezing cold. But you could see all the different mountains and volcanoes around. It was an amazing thing. And then you had to come down with such a steep drop that I nearly threw up. But I forced myself to look at it every now and then. So, I need to give you the name of this one. This is the 2-day altar of Tangled guidance. Don't ask me what that means. We'll find out, hopefully. So we're looking for an energy for Vesta. Vesta is in Aquarius at 25 degrees. Mars is retrograding in Gemini. And Mars is at 25 degrees. There's also a difficult energy somehow that's going between the depths of your soul and the heights of your joy, that's between the sun and Uranus. Shh, we know it's Gaia. So Vesta, let's have a rune for Vesta. Let's have a rune for Vesta. That was a little bit like My Delilah. There's something in that tune that's got some kind of dangerous, murderous quality about it. So, yeah, come on. The sun's burning my arms. I'm so close to the sun. I could almost put my hand up and touch it. And I have to keep my hat on or the top of my head burns. This is Tangled. I can't get a thing out. There we go. Flursa. First blood. There's a real sense now that after now Venus has become the evening star and Venus is beginning to come out from behind the sun, but won't really appear until about the 4th. I'm muddled now. Anyway, it's in a few days, or today. So, as Venus is now the evening star, you won't be able to see it, is the point I'm making. It's still too hidden. Even when it pops out by the edge of the sun, you won't see it. It takes a few more days for it to work its way up. Oh, I'm going to have to shut my computer because it's overheating in the sunshine. If we need any information from it, and I've got clothing around my clothing, I'm just going to keep it around there. There we go, just to keep the sun off because it is fierce. So what am I seeing? Creativity returning, inspiration returning. That's the energy. Mars retrograding. Oh, right. Mars is energizing an animal guide. I want to say it's a snake, because we've got Eeyore, the world serpent, and we got the animal guide, Wakend, watching. It's like the snake is watching. Somehow they're showing me, you have to call it in. You have to call in. You might see Tarzan just going by at the back there. Yeah, something about how, I'm not saying you cut blood to draw, but there's something about you have to action seeking the Mars serpent. I don't know what a Mars serpent is, other than it's connected somehow to the Earth. So let's get... I feel there's two other things I need. I need to get the energy of the Sun and Gaia, Uranus. The Sun. So this is... The Sun is the journey, the life force energy, moving through something. Uranus, Gaia, is the portal, the thorns. And the Sun needs to soften, erode. Oh, that's interesting. I was obsessed yesterday with deep, ancient water cuts in some of the mountains in this canyon. And this canyon's twice as deep as the Grand Canyon. There's something about frozen emotions and how it's taken so long to release those frozen emotions and to cut new channels in your journey. So, change decks. Let's get some information at this altar. Square. There's something very uncomfortable and hot-headed, actionable, calm. Okay, that's interesting. Calm, be calm, stay calm. Don't let that Mars energy rule how you approach this altar. There's something of a... I hate using the word trigger, but it is a trigger. There's something... second and third, and I think it's this energy between the Sun, which is obviously in Scorpio, South Node, what you came in with, those energies that frustrate you, and moving towards Uranus, Gaia in Taurus, and the need to purify something old. It's like saying you have the tools, but the tools won't work if you go in with that sense of superior versus inferior. You going in all kind of cocksure, calm, pasivo, mis amigos. So a little bit more. Law of unintended consequences follows. This is an awakening point. This is a magical awakening point. And there is within this, if you can keep your cool, there's a radical shift. But I want to say you can't anticipate that shift. I'm not sure that you can... It's almost a level of sophistication that you don't comprehend because you become too hot-headed to hear the whole message. 644434. So there's something about the energy of Jupiter attached to this frequency. And Jupiter is now in Pisces. I say that it's not now today, as in when I'm recording. Jupiter is back in Pisces, granting wishes since the 30th of October. It's retrograded back in. So let's see what else we can get. Whoa, a big shift. Ah, now that's interesting. It left one card separate from the pile, rusted. Calcified. The choked persona. The need for material possessions. That's, I think, what you need to look at. You need to focus on releasing that. So Vesta, goddess of the eternal light. The eternal light, and also remember the sun's playing into this, and also, the moon. I didn't do the conjunction of the moon with you. And I think that's relevant. Let's get a rune for the moon. Let's get a rune for the moon. So the moon is in conjunction with Vesta, but also obviously trining Mars. But the Vesta energy of the light is a longer term energy. The moon is really kind of, that's the trigger. The moon is the trigger. Okay. The moon is the gathering darkness on this energy. The moon is the old trigger. The moon is casting doubt. The moon is the thing you need to be aware of, because remember, we are heading now. We've entered the Janus Geminis, the Venusian vaticinium of this eclipse tunnel, through the door of the sun, Inti. And we're moving through. We've met Venus in the middle. We've got 3 more altars to do before we go to the moon's shadows. So there's something about the moon is going to keep trying to trigger you because it wants you to learn something about how to stay calm. And it's interesting, this superior inferior is the sun and the moon and the earth, the shadow of the moon over the earth. And the notion is there's no superior or inferior. That's just arrogance. Everything counts. Everything counts. So, the moon's energy, again, with the Alchemy of Astrology deck, what's the moon's energy on this trining of Mars? Polishing the rust, scraping things, scraping the bottom of your barrel, because you've got to clean out all that you've cooked up in your life. You got to clean it. You got to make it shine with Venusian copper. It's a big copper pot. And that's the barrel. It's Scorpio. So it's telling us that there's a separation that needs to begin today. This altar is the point at which you begin to plan the fact that the sun will be in Scorpio, your life force will be in Scorpio at the lunar eclipse. But it's trying to remind you that the position of the sun, although it's not involved in this energy, it's still important to disentangling. Wasn't this, I've forgotten the name of it, but it was the Tangled guidance. It feels a bit like Tangled guidance. Earth, I mean, if we're dealing with a coming lunar eclipse and it's total, we're looking at the moon in Taurus here. Stable, grounded, black bile. And then we have Chariclo, and we have Take 84. So you have to, at this altar, you're trying to find some kind of way to disentangle your hot-headedness and to focus on taking your boundaries and creating them. Oh, stone walls. All over this place there are stone boundaries, and although they sit there looking immovable, they're also terribly fragile, as are, I think, the boundaries that we're dealing with that keep us locked in the wrong place. So what do we need to do? Be more fluid. Again, Mercury keeps coming up in this energy of Galdir. You need to actually say, magically communicate where you're going to be heading. And there's something about Jupiter frequency pushing into the fogs that Neptune creates in Pisces that need to be cleared. Make it known, clarify, reveal. Got a little bit of wind there, so we're losing cards. But luckily, Eloise is on hand. She was just passing at the perfect time. Thank you. Merci. So I'll put them under there. I just need a little bit more. What do you need to do? Oh, what do you need to do? What do you have to do here at this altar? Oh. Moon in Leo and the moon. Explosive creativity through your third eye. This is personal intuition, personal self-reflection. So I think it's linking, because right now the moon is in Aquarius, isn't it? You see, this is now when I need the computer, because I can't remember all the asteroid and planet positions. So let's just call it back up now that the computer's cooled down. So the moon, is in Aquarius, and it's going to be pushing towards Leo as we move towards the lunar eclipse. So there's something about when the moon hits Leo that I think you will untangle this guidance, because it is about tangled guidance. I want to say hearing half-truths, hearing directions to a spiritual cul-de-sac, walking in the wrong direction. Just keep your own counsel. And that's interesting. Taurus, which is where the moon will be for the lunar eclipse, and fire. This is about leaving the vaticinium. You've got to know where you want to go when you leave through the moon door on the 8th of November. You need to work that out, but you're not going to be able to work it out until moon hits Leo. So I can't remember offhand. You'll have to give it a little search. But, you know, it'll be about a week. No, it's got to be sooner than that, because it's on the 8th. You'll find it. And it's Ophiuchus to end, 13 frequency. So we began with 13 frequency. We ended. This is the time when you've got to start to rely on your intuition to see you through the second half of the Janus Geminus, the eclipse tunnel. Pulling all the threads of consciousness together that you can't see, but they will reveal themselves when the moon is in Leo. I would try and look it up for you, but the connection at the moment's gone a bit wonky here. And as I say, I can't remember that time offhand. So, that's your altar. Just sit down, make some plans, and then see how they unfold. If you can grab all the threads of consciousness to make your third eye open and to nourish you with your own intuition. So, we'll do 2 more and then we'll do the lunar eclipse. So, wassail for now.